you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in drug fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh, but
actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season, actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear, saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like, I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
so follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking.
We actually follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff.
Decision.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just say fucking forehead. What? This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad? What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy? KW, LOLW, XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a normal.
No, dude, we're gonna do a fatal four-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fuck, damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his cast.
Boom. It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your second dose of the AEW, of the Pro Wrestling Injection. Wow. Losing it today already. Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. Mike is not here today. He is a little bit under the weather, so get better, Mike. I am your host, the Outlaw of Long Island. Well, former Long Island. I'm losing it today, Christian. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. We know. It's been happening. It happens. It happens when you get 2 shows a week.
Yeah.
You got a draft tomorrow.
And also, Sketch is doing one of Houston's picks.
I don't think it's. They don't have a first round pick. He's doing it's. They
doing
usually
one
have
of their picks, right?
Yeah, they have it. Yeah, it's gonna be not tomorrow, but like they usually have the special guest on like the last day, or like the second day. So yeah, Texans don't even have a first round pick tomorrow, so it's not happening tomorrow.
And so yeah, I'm here joined by the goon Christian, and a quick shout out to Bryson over there. He has his birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday, my guy. All right, so we have some news to cover. Christian is the news guy, so hit us with the news.
All right, so basically, just some not really minor. There's some major stuff in here, but most of it isn't all that crazy. First off, I guess we'll talk about the WWE releases that took place over the last week, which were pretty shocking, because I didn't realize they would do this, and it happened on Friday. But basically, the people who were released were Jinder Mahal, Xia Li, Zion Quinn, Von Wagner, Veer, Sangha, and Cameron Grimes, which is the one I had a big problem with, because I love Cameron Grimes. The guy is great, and he's gonna land, and he's gonna do fucking amazing wherever he goes.
Justice
that guy
for
was
Come
incredible.
Tuesday. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But Grimes, he never got a chance, and he was always one of my favorites. He got so over on his own organically in NXT. He could have done on the main roster, but never happened. But anyway,
I think if he was called up like sooner, he definitely would have been in that IC title picture if he would have got called up. Well,
I don't think actually I disagree.
Well, like, if they called him up in the middle of the stock gimmick, which was of course during the pandemic.
Well, I disagree as well, because that was still Vince era booking, and Vince was never going to do anything with Cameron Grimes. Triple H and Shawn were doing something with him in NXT. I think if he was still in NXT and they called him up around maybe last year, or like around like maybe around last year, or like about 6 months ago, I think he would have done better, because they would have had a plan for him. But he was basically inherited, and they never had any plan for him.
He was
because
just
obviously Vince, he just got lost in the shuffle. This is a case of a lot of talent and getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, he did like dark matches and like the speed up stuff, I believe. That's like the best of my knowledge, going up by like Twitter.
Yeah, he didn't really do nothing. He was still on the road. But anyway, coincide.
Nick just shared a great tweet in the group chat. If Tony Khan does not show up to the draft tomorrow in a neck brace.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end, but I will say that just coinciding with this news about the releases is that there was a major development when it comes to non-compete clauses in the United States of America. I'm going to read the report right here, because this is actually this is a big deal. I mean, if you're a person who works in this country and your jobs issue out non-competes, if you ever got fired from some place or you ever left some place, you could have a non-compete. Like basically, they would have a non-competes on fucking people who working at McDonald's. Say you can't, for 90 days you can't go work at Burger King. I'm like it's the Crips and the Bloods.
I didn't have that issue.
I don't know. that's the thing. I think I think that's where the shoe dropped. I think they found out some were doing it, but not
Mhm.
all. So they had to just get that shit sorted. But basically, the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, has issued a final rule making it illegal for bosses to make workers sign non-competes in any scenario and voiding nearly all existing non-competes. This is a game changer for American workers. So, and Justin Wang, I got to give him a shout out because he had a great tweet about this. He says someone at the FTC is a massive Jinder Mahal fan. But basically, what that means is if you obviously if your contract expires in WWE and in other places, you don't have a non-compete. But if you're released on a Monday from WWE, say a fucking I don't know, Angel Garza is released from WWE on a Monday. He could show up on Dynamite on a Wednesday. On that Wednesday, that's what this is absolutely gonna have ripple effects when it comes to wrestling. It's gonna be chaos when it comes to free agency now, and we'll see how this shakes out because we still haven't seen an example of it yet. We will in due time, but this is a major
Oh,
thing for the wrestling business.
I think keep your eyes peeled to GCW in the coming future.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see Trevor Lee appear. Cameron Grimes.
Hopefully. I think I mean fucking Janela and Brett Lauderdale, they've been fucking trying to get Jinder in there forever. Uh but yeah. But anyway, the other piece of news is just some quick New Japan stuff. Forbidden Door tickets went on sale. I have mine. I will be at Forbidden Door.
I unfortunately can't make it because I have so much going on in June.
Yeah. But basically just the quick New Japan stuff. Yo has been replaced in the Best of the Super Juniors because he dislocated his shoulder. Or is that his elbow or shoulder? So he had to get replaced in the Best of the Super Junior. They're just replacing him with Kushida, which I was shocked that Kushida wasn't even in it anyway, which he should have been. But yeah, Kushida's gonna be taking his place in the tournament, so pretty good. Jake Lee from Pro Wrestling Noah debuted and attacked Naito, and he joined forces with the Bullet Club War Dogs. He isn't a member of the War Dogs, but he joined forces with them. But that's a big time thing. Jake Lee is a major Japanese talent over there in Noah. So that was pretty cool to see. And we had some drama when it came to New Japan.
What's up?
Hold on. Oh, I just want to see this. Oh, Wrestle Votes. Oh, Wrestle Votes, which usually just only talks about WWE, says when ESPN cameras show Tony Khan sending in that Jags pick tomorrow night. It's a picture of Roddy in the neck brace and the wheelchair. But anyway, there was some drama when it came to New Japan. So basically, it all stemmed from tonight's main event of Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jon Moxley for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And a lot of New Japan fans had various opinions on this because of a lot of guys in New Japan, it takes them years to even get a title shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and all of a sudden here's a random match on Dynamite, and Hobbs getting a shot. So I can understand that. But Yota Tsuji spoke out against the match on Twitter because that's one thing about New Japan that I love. All their guys get to shoot from the hip and have their own opinions. But Yota Tsuji has been notorious for this. He even cursed out Okada before on his last night, saying, "Wow, you left. This is how you left us, you fucking loser. See ya." But Tsuji had to say this about this Dynamite main event. He said, "Yota Tsuji says it's absurd for a wrestler with no connection to New Japan to suddenly challenge for the IWGP. Even if they're great wrestlers, and question if Hobbs was to win, does he even have a visa so he could go work in Japan and defend the title in Fukuoka?" And he also said that following the announcement of the Jon Moxley defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs on Dynamite, Tsuji says that AEW lacks the respect for the IWGP and just wants to exploit New Japan. That comment, I believe, obviously there's truth in there, but obviously it's New Japan making the deal. It's not all AEW. But that's going to play into Forbidden Door. I see if Shota doesn't challenge Mox for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Dominion, I mean, not at Forbidden Door, then most likely the IWGP title match is going to be him, Mox and Suji. And I think that is just laying the groundwork for it. Um, so yeah, that's really all there was. It just gave us another hint at what is going to be taking place at Forbidden Door, because we don't really have an idea of the card at all yet, because we're still about 2 months out. And we still have another pay-per-view to get through. The only match that we're 99% sure on is Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm. But that's about it. And Moxley versus either Suji or Shota Umino. Because the Ren Narita match is going to be happening at Wrestling Dentaku. So
just
we'll
want
see
to
what goes there.
before we dive into any more stories, kind of want to read some of the comments we have here. Ryan, who is a friend of mine, says, I think Tony Khan feared for his life tonight. Oh, there we go. We start having that. Then he also said that he created a fake tweet that looked like Cody had to vacate the title and sent it to Carl, and Carl fell for it. Doing big money moves there. It's very easy to trick Carl. And he also says it felt weird tonight for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship to be defended on Dynamite. It didn't feel right. Felt like AEW was treating it as just another championship. I think we pretty much just covered that. It's just to...
Yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, that match would not have been for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
I think that's fine to have that match on Dynamite. I wouldn't have made that for the title. I think at the segment at the end, if you want to have, not just because he's Japanese, but Takeshita, he already has a pedigree in Japan, and he's wrestled guys over there. So I think that would be a fine for an IWGP title match. But Hobbs being there, I mean, just doesn't make sense, because it's like, it's because, like, say, like, in all kayfabe turns here, what if Hobbs won? Is he going to go to New Japan? The Japanese fan base doesn't know him. He's not going to be a go-ahead draw like Moxley is. They're not invested in Powerhouse Hobbs, so it really doesn't really make any sense. I think they should be more selective. Like, if you had Mox versus Jay White for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, I think that could be completely fine. Japanese fans know him. Jay was there. Jay was a former 2-time champ. He's been there forever. Ospreay, Omega, Ibushi, Okada. I'm not saying he has to defend against former guys, but at least guys that the Japanese fan base, that the New Japan fan base knows. And because Hobbs is still a very new thing, even though a lot of the New Japan fans have seen him before on Forbidden Door, or if they watch AEW programming on New Japan World. But yeah, that's really all there is to the news. Besides just a quick couple signing things. Mike Santana has landed in TNA, which is really cool to see. And the Motor City Machine Guns, they should be coming in imminently. They're still wrapping up independent dates. That's why they're not in yet.
and so is and Jacob Fatu is set up for
WWE
soon.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu is supposed to debut soon. There was a report saying he was going to debut this week on the draft. But there was a new report today said they changed their minds and they're going to wait on it, and they're just going to because he's under contract, so they don't have to worry about him finishing up anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was really all there was for the news. I'm just trying to check here if there's anything else. There really isn't. Let me see. Oh, just the last piece here. Just some news and notes from the Scrum. Swerve is gonna have his own new shoe.
I think we talked about that on the post show.
Called the Pressure Ones. Yeah, we did. It's called the Pressure Ones. He was just talking about the champion doing the champion stuff. Willow at the press conference said that she wants to defend the title everywhere. She would love to go to Japan and defend the title there, and would love to have people from Japan come in and defend the title against them. Ospreay retired the Storm Driver 91, which that's complete kayfabe. Yeah. Tony Storm said Nicole Garcia couldn't hold a pussy-scented candle to her in the ring, so that's why she didn't come to AEW. That doesn't. She also if you watch anything from the Scrum, go watch what Tony Storm had to say. It was very quick, but it was fucking great.
I love when someone asks, "Oh, so how do you feel about Mariah May being your next opponent?" And then she just looked,
For
pushed the
fuck's
mic,
sake.
and then left.
Yep.
Oh
But
man,
yeah,
it's so great.
that was the news, and expect some more after tonight's show.
Oh
Say
yeah.
that much.
All right.
Just hitting the comments here. I said I just think people are getting so pissed off because at it because the IWGP champion is such a prestigious champion, having it being really champion. Yeah.
Like it's just like
Yeah, I could agree with that because I mean I've been a New Japan fan for years. It takes guys in that company years upon years to even get a title shot, let alone win the title. So yeah, just having them throw a title match out is like okay, that's a little. Maybe not do that again,
I'm
but I
so
wouldn't.
debating changing the thumbnail of our photo
But
of our
yeah,
video right now.
but the thing about it is Mox is gonna be gone. Uh, in about a month. I mean, he's got a month after the Best of the Super Juniors. The Best of the Super Juniors ends on June 9th, so he's got about a little bit over a month, and then he'll be gone from television until Forbidden Door season comes up.
Yeah.
Because he's got to do the tours over there. But he really shouldn't be gone at all, or not at all, but he shouldn't be really gone. Like he might miss 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah. They shouldn't be giving out IWGP Heavyweight Championship matches willy nilly. And I don't know if it's AEW who's booking it. I think it's because if anybody, the decision is going to come down to either Tanahashi or Gato.
I think Rocky probably because Rocky is is the middmiddleman between the two.
Well, Rocky's not making matches. Rocky,
he's just
he's the VP. He just got promoted. He's now the VP in both AEW and New Japan of like executive talent and stuff. It's basically he's an executive in AEW now, but in New Japan he's basically like talent relations.
Yeah.
But Rocky's not making the matches.
He's probably the middleman on decisions.
He's the correspondent. He's the correspondent. Yeah, and the people signing off on it is either Gato. Well, obviously Gato because he's the booker, but either Gato or Tanahashi are the ones signing off on it.
Mm.
But yeah, that's really all there is to it this week.
So there was a Dynamite tonight, even though we normally don't say that unless the news is like an hour long, but it was a good Dynamite. It was a nice refresh. It felt like this was really good. The only issues come from the audio side of things.
Yeah, this was a very good Dynamite tonight.
I think the audio issues came down to TBS, but also this was like their first coast to coast.
I don't
as well.
I don't think it was TBS. I think to me, what that felt.
It was what Tony Khan was saying on Twitter. That it was TBS's side.
Oh, okay. All right. So if it was TBS, but I also felt like, obviously, because the way they were doing the audio, they were playing it from the arena, and plus they're in an outdoor arena, so it's obviously going to sound different. And plus, and that's the thing too. They haven't been in Daly's place in how long? So I don't know if fucking wires got crossed and it was different way of setting shit up, but obviously they should know because they were there for a year and a half, 2 years. But
Tony's con tweet read, "Thank you all watching Dynamite. Now we're having an exciting show live worldwide. Our partners at TPS is having some audio issues on tonight's show.
I didn't see that.
Thankfully, we understand our worldwide partners aren't affected, but TBS is working to fix the issue immediately." And clearly, really didn't get fixed. But I once again, benefit of the doubt. They haven't been in Daly's place in, I think, roughly maybe like 6-7 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because they were there, I think, prior to Full Gear, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
But
yeah, anyway.
But this was a very fun show. We open up with the Elite arriving, and then who pulls up behind them? None other than the scapegoat, Jack Perry,
who still at this point in time is a suspended man. And the security rushes up to him and says, "Hey, you can't be here, Jack." And then Matt's like, "It's fine.
Don't touch the merchandise."
He's like, "Listen, it's fine. He's with us. And so it's like, all right, obviously you know where it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they walk in. That was how they opened the show. But they opened the show here in the arena with Trent throwing Orange Cassidy outside of the entranceway and demanding Chuck Taylor comes out and pick his side. Really, and this
Trent
whole
came
thing
from
with
the stands too. Not Trent. Chuck.
Yeah, Trent. He actually made. I actually kind of wish Chuck went with him, but he actually made a really great case. He said at the beginning, we were supposed to be tag champions. We were supposed to run the tag division.
This guy was
and
supposed to be our mascot.
Bar was supposed to be our mascot, our friend to support us, but then it became all about him, and then we got pushed to the wayside, and we became his lackeys, which is kind of what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, they succeeded anyway. But it's good heel fodder. So he's like, listen, take a side. He asked they got in position to do the hug, but then Chuck was like, you know what, Trent, I always knew you were a piece of shit. I completely forgot about that because that was a Twitter gimmick.
I always knew about it. I never forgot. He finally
Yeah.
was allowed to say shit.
Yeah.
Let this man say it.
But yeah, he said it, and then he ran Chuck off. They started fighting. So Chuck has aligned with Orange Cassidy, and Trent is now a man on his own island. I think that I don't think it's gonna result in a tag match, obviously, because they're doing the parking lot. Oh well, Chuck said he wants to fight him in the parking lot basically because they've
He's
had that great
cleared.
parking lot brawl with Santana and Ortiz and Moxley and Claudio and Yuta. So they're doing another parking lot brawl because these guys are like the kings of the parking lot brawl. So now they're going 1-on-1.
Well,
I
'cause
don't think they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna do a tag match because if they do, Trent's gonna have to find a partner, and the only obvious partner there is Rocky Romero. Unless they want to turn him heel, which I don't know if they're gonna do that. But
they could. I'm trying to think
That's the thing.
on who else would team with
That's
Trent.
yeah,
and
but
stuff like
that's
that.
the thing. Obviously, because Roppongi Vice, because Rocky's got a lot on his plate. He's still currently wrestling in Mexico. He has the stuff in Japan. He's going back and forth. So it's like, and he has he has matches on Dynamite and regularly. But it's like I don't know if how it's gonna be if he can handle a long-term storyline because he's going back and forth so many places. But even if they don't, they could just spin it to because Orange and Trent are gonna have a singles match at some point. So.
Unless somewhere down the line, because you gotta keep in mind too that there could be another like group building with Trent, Statlander, maybe Stokely, and another person. Because remember, Statlander confronted Trent. Trent whispered something in her ear. So keep that in mind too. You got a storm building in other parts of it. So who knows where this goes.
Yeah. Next up, we had the AEW World Champion making his first entrance as a champion in his first match as champion, Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana versus Kyle Fletcher, the Ring of Honor Television Champion, with
eliminator match.
Yep. With Don Callis, and these two had a great match. I mean, once this was advertised, once they announced this, I was like, holy shit, this is a great fucking match here. These two had a phenomenal match. Really enjoyed this opener. Swerve looked really good in there. Obviously, Kyle looks really good. The finish came from a Swerve stomp from the corner, and then he hit a house call. It's the first time I've ever seen him use the house call as a finish, but he hit it after the Swerve stomp, so it made sense. And he finished off Kyle. The one thing about this that you have to take notice of is Don Callis. On commentary for this match and on commentary for the match with Bryan and Ospreay at Dynasty is that he was hyping up Swerve and Danielson more than he was his own guy, and he's basically nitpicking everything Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher did. And obviously we're going to talk about that segment later, but that's not that's not on purpose.
Yeah.
It's very intentional. So that's something you have to pay mind to. But this was a great match. Great opener. Swerve looks fucking great. We don't know who he's going to be challenging yet at a Double or Nothing. We learned that in this match, they said next week they're going to tell you who his next opponent will be.
It's a very
And
like interesting topic now, because like
yeah, there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of
Joe
opponents.
again.
Yeah, my always thing was, okay, they could do a Joe rematch. They could do a Joe rematch. They could do Hangman again, because Swerve, obviously Hangman's obsession was Swerve not winning the title. They could fucking put like the final chapter of him and Hangman one last time, and like they don't wrestle again after that. But I know they've already done that a lot, him and Hangman. There's also other avenues I think they can go. One of which is dependent on the closing angle of this show, which I don't want to talk about yet because we're gonna get there. Because obviously what happened to Tony Khan, and I don't know if Tony Khan is gonna be off television or out of the seat, or if the Elite are gonna run this show.
Oh my god.
But anyway, and it's not gonna be Osprey yet. So we don't really know. And obviously Moxley, he has his own belt. Danielson is kayfabe injured. So there's not really a lot of options coming out the gate here. But I think there's some stuff you to look at when it comes to Swerve Strickland and who he's going to be wrestling next up. But we're going to get to those segments anyway. But next we had Jon Moxley in the back cutting a promo with his IWGP Heavyweight Championship, talking, just basically hyping up the match with Hobbs. That's really all this was. After that, Renee was in the back with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo, and basically Thunder Rosa was saying, like, she was explaining what the fuck happened at Dynasty, and then she said, well, Deonna was there, and she got involved in my business, and Deonna showed up and said, every time I hear you talking about me when I'm not here, and they started fighting. Obviously, that's been brewing for a couple weeks now, and that match is going to be happening on Rampage. Just programming note on the Rampage and the Collision on Saturday. It's going to be, we don't have a time yet. It's going to be whenever the NBA playoffs end.
God.
So it could be either at normal time or it could be 2 hours after. So the sickos like me who stayed up for that shit the night after WrestleMania are going to be doing the same thing here. So we'll see. But after this, we had a women's contest here. We had Mina Shirakawa versus Anna Jay. Mina Shirakawa is currently the 1/3 of the Artist of Stardom champions, which is their 6-woman trios belts. But this match actually happened before on Ring of Honor. It went well, so they decided to run the match here as well. And it made sense for Anna to be involved in it due to her being involved with some of the Stardom talent. She even accompanied Azumi to the ring when she wrestled Toni Storm on Collision last week.
I think it's too, like,
but
for Mina's like first AEW televised match, she looks like a fucking star.
Mina is fucking great.
They presented her so well.
Yeah, Mina. Now that Julia and Utami Hayashishita are out of Stardom and they're gonna go to Marigold with Rossi Ogawa, which that's a whole other can of worms, which we can't get into yet, because the company is not off the ground, and but Stardom has had to like elevate new girls as like their number one.
Yeah.
Right now the World of Stardom champion is Micah. They still have Shuri there. Tam Nakano is still there. Starlight Kid is still there. And Mina Shirakawa are basically the upper echelon of girls there. Mina has been really popular though. She's basically in Stardom. She's like the upper mid carder. She's like the upper mid carder waiting to break out. And she's gonna end up being a main eventer soon. She's gonna win the World of Stardom Championship within the year. But Mina, obviously, she has ties with Mariah May, and Mina is just fantastic in the ring. She is so good. And the craziest thing about it is that she only has 5 years experience. Um,
Really?
and yeah, and she's fairly new, which is usually the case with a lot of Stardom girls because I mean, in Stardom, some of them start at fucking 14 years old. So that's just how it is over there. At some point, but Mina here, she had a pretty good match with Anna. They ran the match back. I watched the match on Ring of Honor. It was good. This one was good as well. Mina looked great. Anna looked pretty good in there. She's holding her own in there with Japanese talent that are clearly more seasoned and better than her. Um, but uh, Mina Shirakawa won with a great looking roll up. I forgot what it's called. She has a name for it. She has like a special name for it.
It kind of looked like the seatbelt.
A little bit,
pin.
yeah. A little bit, but she won with a roll up. After the match, Mariah May got in the ring and had some champagne. She wanted to celebrate with Mina, but Anna Jay hit
Was this
Mariah.
going up by Chris's comment? Was this Anna Jay's 100th match in AEW?
It probably. I mean, I might have been. I don't check that, but it probably was. If they probably said it on the lower third. I could check on the website here. If how many wins she has. Yeah,
Really?
it was.
Oh, that's
Yep,
awesome.
because her career win loss is 59-40.
Wow.
So she would be 59-41. So that would be 100 with her 100 matches. So congrats to her. 100 matches, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
But anyway, Anna texts Mina and Mariah after the match. She puts the Queen Slayer on Mina. But here comes
Timeless
Tony
Storm
to make the save to run her off. Which I think that I don't know if this is a heel turn for Anna. I think she's could have some heelish thing because I've always been an advocate of them putting her with Jack when he came back, but they still could, and I think it would be beneficial. But it's not like he needs her. He's fucking walking around with the Bucks and Okada, so it's not like he needs Anna.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool to enhance Anna. It would do more for Anna than it would for Jack. If this was Hollywood Jack Perry before the Wembley incident, then I would be like, oh, he needs Anna, but now he really doesn't. Because fucking who would have thought?
I still
happened.
Giving him a quote valet would definitely enhance it because you could treat it a lot better than you did with Sammy and Taya.
Well, Sammy and Ty,
Ty, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Sammy and Ty, for them in particular, it was the funniest thing. Sammy was over and as a babyface, Ty was over as a babyface, and then they put them together, and then they all of a sudden, fuck you. That's really what happened.
Because it was very shaky on how things were when you realize that didn't Sammy propose to his girlfriend on national television, and now here we are.
That was months ago, and I don't understand where wrestling fans get at this. Do you understand how this shit works? Number one, the reason why a lot of wrestlers end up dating wrestlers is because guess what? You're on the road together for multiple days a week, and the people at home, you don't see them for multiple days or months on end. So guess what happens when you're on the road with the same people? That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happens. That's why so many wrestlers, that's why wrestling is probably the greatest matchmaker there is. That's why so many wrestlers date other wrestlers, because there's no other type of people that live the same lifestyle. Just doesn't happen. And if you do have a wrestler that has a significant other at home, then it's very challenging.
It's like what Triple H said on the Tough Enough. You're on the road. Do you know what your wife so what's your wife doing? Don't know. How about your kids? Don't know. The dog? You'll never know.
You don't know. It's one of the sacrifices you made. But anyway, this brings out Tony running and off. This brings out Serena Deeb. And here comes Serena Deeb. She talks to the camera saying that She sits next to the title, saying
Hopefully, people
that
can hear me.
She's not going to touch the title because the next time she does, she's going to be the champion. So it looks like we're going to be heading for Serena Deeb and Tony Storm program going into double or nothing, which I think that's a pretty great program. I think
Oh,
that's
it is.
I mean, that would be a great match. And obviously it's not time yet to start the build to the Mina match because the Mina match is going to happen at Forbidden Door.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought this was a winning segment. It got shit moving, and that was a big tone for the show tonight. It got a lot of shit moving in the right direction for Double or Nothing. We have a clear view on at least a quarter of the matches or the storylines going forward when it comes to Double or Nothing. So I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, good stuff here. I think Serena and Tony are gonna have a great match at Double or Nothing, and I'm very excited to see how that turns out.
Mhm.
After this,
we had the Willow celebration. I wish.
well, before that, we had Alex Marvez in the back.
the scoop.
We had looking for a fucking scoop because I mean that's all this guy's worth for apparently because this guy's looking for a fucking scoop. Maybe he should go scoop ice cream if he's looking for a fucking scoop. But anyway,
Come on, don't disrespect Marvez. He's so good.
His name's Steven, actually.
God
Have you ever
damn
seen
it.
it? I don't know if anyone has seen that segment that happened on Collision like 2 or 3 weeks ago with Saraya, Harley Cameron, and Zach Knight. I really weren't jiving with most of their segments, but that one was fucking hilarious. Like I was audibly laughing. It was on the Collision after Mania. And it's the one and he's like, "Listen, Steven, I know why you're wearing the." Saraya she goes up to Marvin, she's like, "Listen, Steven, I know why you're wearing those glasses." And the delivery on Marvin, he's like, "Steven." He was like he's like, "Steven." And then she's like, "Yeah, Steven, I know why you're wearing those glasses too." And then she goes, "To get a close up of her breasts." And then they all fucking punch it. And then Harley Karen, she's like, she fucking pushes him out of carry. She's like, "Get out of here, pig." Zach Knight's about to kill this man. It was fucking hilarious.
Christian, check the group chat real quick. I just saw the perfect tweet.
Oh Jesus, Christopher Moltisanti. That was my not this picture, but another picture of him in the neck brace was my Xbox gamer picture for years. Now it's Huel Babineau from fucking Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But
the next
but
time
Chris,
he appears.
listen, Chrissy and Tony got the same hair. But yeah.
I swear.
Anyway,
he better come out on Dynamite in like 2 weeks. I
Fuck
fear
that.
for my life.
No, fuck that. I better see his ass tomorrow at the NFL draft with the fucking neck brace on. That's why this show is in Jacksonville, so Tony doesn't have to leave. Because he's not going to sleep tonight. He's gotta do the fucking draft tomorrow.
Oh my
but anyway,
gosh, I fucking love the memes that are coming out right now. Alright. Oh man. That's a fucked up angle I'm looking at right now on Twitter. Cool, thanks.
But anyway, Jack Perry walks out of Tony Khan's office, and Marvez asks him, "What happened in there? Are you reinstated?" And Jack just pats him on the shoulder and walks past. And then and Marvez goes, "Okada-san, can you tell us what happened in there?" Okada pats him on the shoulder and walks away. All right, here comes Nick. Nick says, he goes to Marvez goes to Nick. He's like, "What happened in there, Nick?" Nick pats him on the shoulder and walks away. And then he goes to Matt. And Matt is basically saying, like, a lot of shit has happened. I don't really have a scoop for you, but Tony Khan wants to talk to Jack Perry face to face in the ring later on tonight.
Actually, it was the other way around.
Oh, same, yeah. Jack Perry wants to talk.
Yeah,
Jack Perry wants to talk to Tony Khan in the ring face to face later tonight. So then Marvin said, "Well, that's a scoop." I'm like, finally, this guy's got a scoop. But after this, we had the Willow Nightingale celebration. I mean, they had a celebration
had the
earlier.
cameras at Chuck E. Cheese, and they did the stuff that they did with MJF and Adam
They would have
Cole.
to. I mean, they didn't even have to rent that place out. In those pictures, it looked fucking empty. But like, I get it. You can't film.
Well,
You can't film kid.
It's a Wednesday.
Well, that's
in the
true,
middle
but
of the
you can,
day.
well, that's true. You can't. Well, that's the thing. You can't film kids, without the fucking having all of them sign a waiver unless you buy out the place. And I don't know if they wanted to spend that money to buy out Chuck E. Cheese for fucking an hour. But anyway, yeah, they went to Chuck E. Cheese earlier. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I know why, because the call that Stokely made, he said we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. But they did go to Charles Entertainment Cheese
And see the thing.
establishment.
The funny thing is, I think underneath that tweet, Bryce Remsburg tweeted, "Whenever I go there by myself, I get dirty looks." Well, see, the reason why they didn't get dirty looks because Stokely is about the height of like a 10-year-old, so didn't really matter.
Well, you know, it happens. If you're
Not even gonna deny the comment.
it happens, and if you're at least if you're a male.
Stokely was the Make-A-Wish kid that they had to bring there.
Well, listen, if you're a grown adult by yourself in Chuck E. Cheese, you might have a chat log somewhere. But
Yeah.
excuse me, I'm kidding. But anyway, they should have went to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'll stop. But here's Stokely.
Is that building still there where they filmed? Or did they tear that down after they filmed it?
I don't know. I fucking probably rented out some bullshit place.
No,
fucking
no,
had some goddamn
they
animatronic.
built like I think they occupied like an abandoned building from what I saw.
I mean, they might as well leave it. Who the fuck's gonna use it if it's abandoned?
True.
They should just make it an actual restaurant, and then when some kid dies, it's like, oh, lore. We're just doing it for the lore, bro. It's lore accurate. Is that a bite of 87? Anyway, Stokely, he gets out here. Him and Statlander. Statlander spits some bars. She starts rhyming, and Stokely says that shit was fucking whack. But here
Caprice
comes
Coleman?
Willow. And,
Caprice
yeah,
Coleman.
she on commentary just singing the song, which him and Riccaboni do every time she had an entrance in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So she's coming out. Willow comes out, the new TBS champion. She talks for a little bit about being the TBS champion, but she gets interrupted by the CEO, Mercedes Moné, and here comes Mercedes Moné, and they basically this is the first really intense angle promo segment she's had against Willow so far. Obviously, that match is confirmed for Double or Nothing, but Willow basically says to Mercedes, "This is the fucking 4th or 5th time you've interrupted me now. I didn't hurt you on purpose." And because Mercedes basically said, "You took a year away from my career," even though because they're really harping on the fact that a lot of people didn't see that match. I was one of those people who did see that match. The way Mercedes got hurt is that she slipped off the top turnbuckle trying to do it. Like she's literally just climbing to the top turnbuckle from the apron, and she slipped and fell down to the ground, and that's how she broke her fucking ankle, and a bunch of other shit, and tore a bunch of other shit. It was there was no contact with Willow at all. But they're using it for the match, and
I loved how Statlander chimed in when Mercedes was talking about who attacked her, and the way Statlander made it sound like that Mercedes attacked herself and just appeared.
Yeah, it's like we all know it was you. But then Stokely chimes in, he's like, we all know it's Julia Hart, and then Statlander covers his mouth and pushes him off to the side.
Because he's about to say something out of pocket.
Yeah,
as he does.
Yeah, he probably thought he's probably gonna say the person who attacked him was fucking, I don't know, Whitney Houston. But anyway, is she dead?
Yes,
she's dead. Oh yeah.
She died in a bathtub, I think, of an overdose. Or was that her daughter? I don't fucking know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Old Brendan Filone also died in a bathtub. Soprano spoiler. Anyway, Mo Green special right through the eye. Fucking Mercedes. She was basically talking about how Willow should enjoy the short time she has as champion because she's gonna win the title off of her at Double or Nothing. And I forgot she said
Try to walk away.
Oh,
Mhm.
she said, fucking, you can't beat me. You can bank on that bitch. All that. And Statlander was very offended by this. So when Mercedes turned around, Statlander grabbed her left shoulder, and then Mercedes immediately turned around and slapped the shit out of Willow, because she thought Willow was the one who grabbed
This
her.
means
Stokely-
Statlander attacked.
Well, yeah, Statlander. I mean, this is obviously hinting
Yeah.
to that Statlander attacked her, which I always thought was the case in the first place. But Stokely's trying to fucking break this shit up. Everybody's going crazy. Willow's like, I didn't even touch her. So yeah, they're building up this, like, basically Willow's a victim of, like, complete circumstance and misgivings of, like, interpretation. But yeah, I thought this was a good segment too. I think this was Mercedes' best segment since their debut. I thought this is built to the match well because because it's not like we're building to nothing anymore. Mercedes isn't just coming out to just come out. She's like actually building for a wrestling match that she's gonna have, because Tony did say that she will be. She hasn't cleared yet, but she will be cleared to wrestle, by Double or Nothing. So very excited for that.
Oh, someone's having a Gant or Gannett. I cannot pronounce that name.
Gannett.
Gannett. Good times, Wild Wing Wednesdays.
Yeah. Ooh. I almost had Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday, but because I had a $25 DoorDash gift card, but I've been to Buffalo Wild Wings like fucking every 2 weeks.
I have one within walking distance. It's right next to.
Yeah, I have one 5 minutes away from me, and that's where we go to watch all the UFC. But I didn't get the Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday because I wanted Chipotle because I'm a Chipotle addict, and I don't really get because I don't like Chipotle. I usually eat it right after in the car because it's not fresh, but I had like a bowl. I tried it for the first time, and then it came to me, and then it looked like they were giving out fucking war rations. There was nothing in the bowl. It was barely any food. If I find a motherfucker who made that goddamn bowl, it's on site. And that's all I have to say about the matter.
That's why
they're gonna end up. They're gonna end up like Tony Khan did tonight. That's what I have to say about the matter.
When I worked at McDonald's, I made sure motherfuckers got one extra nugget sometimes.
No.
A fuck ton of fries.
You can't do that. I'm reporting you to corporate.
Suck my dick. I don't work for them anymore.
Yeah, I'm reporting you to corporate.
I don't care.
I'd be pissed off because I'm counting calories, damn it. And if I got one more nugget in there, it's like, shit, bro, I gotta eat this.
And then I also sometimes gave extra M&Ms in the McFlurry, extra Oreos.
That shit worked. You're a liar. You're a fibber.
I put at the bottom. Didn't work. I put at the bottom. And put at the top.
That machine never works.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
If it was not working, that means we were cleaning it. I'm being fucking honest.
You're a fucking liar.
I worked for the company.
You're a scumbag.
My
piece of shit.
machine never broke.
You're a fucking scumbag piece of shit. All right, you're a liar and a fibber. I don't like that shit. That machine doesn't work, and I'm not fucking standing for this here today.
Cthulhu, all right, Cthulhu.
No, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is he. I mean, God is good all the time, and God don't like ugly. And that shit right there, what do you do at McDonald's when that machine, when people ask for a goddamn McFlurry, and you say you don't have it because your ass is too lazy to fucking clean it? It's not right. Anyway, after this, we got the announcement that fucking Kenny Omega is gonna be on the show next week. The GOAT, he's back, but not for long because they're in Winnipeg. They're in his hometown. He's gonna say hey, hello, and he's gonna go right back to recovery because obviously he still has to get intestinal surgery.
Back to Twitch streaming, which is his Twitch streams are doing pretty well.
His Twitch streams are goated. I love his streams. I mean, that's what happens when you're GOAT.
I love him answering questions about wrestling too, and
yeah, dude, I love it. I mean, it's like the opposite. If you see, that's the best thing about it. Like two of my favorite wrestlers of all time have complete opposite stream. You got Kenny who's fucking saying like fucking shooting on shit on his stream, playing Street Fighter, and then you got Adam Cole over there. Who, if you found Adam Cole, like if you were not a wrestling fan and you just found Adam Cole's stream, I actually like really would like to meet a person because there's definitely people who like watched Adam Cole's stream for the first time and have no idea who the fuck he is.
Probably
like
no lot of Rebirth fans probably found him.
Not even that. Like probably a lot of Halo people too, because he's a big in the Halo and like. See, probably some people have no fucking clue. Like, hey, this guy that you're watching right now play this game and act super nice to chat. Yeah, this guy just wrestled in the main event of a fucking wrestling pay-per-view in front of 80,000 people in fucking London. It's like, oh shit. It's like this is like this. I've been in that scenario before. I found something out about a person. I'm like, no way. Like no way. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of gas station encounters on YouTube.
I think
It's basically
yeah.
It's
I know what
basically
you're talking about.
it's basically like How to Catch a Predator, but like for like shoplifters in a gas station. This guy owns. He
It's
shows
like
the
those
camera.
it's like those True TV like stupidest criminals type.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And he does a voiceover.
Yeah.
And this guy, the streamer like Shofu, was watching the video and he's calling the guy ShoeTube like he knew him. Like Shoe. What do you mean ShoeTube? I know who this guy. He does all the. He's on like the Pokemon ciphers. He would play Pokemon with Shofu, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is the same guy who making this picture. I'm like, what the fuck? And it actually happened in AEW not too long ago either with Steve. I think his name's Steven Borden, Sting's son, who was like a Destiny YouTuber.
Steve Borden Jr.
Yeah, he's a Destiny YouTuber, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm Sting's son, by the way. And everyone was like, what the fuck? But anyway, Kenny's coming back tomorrow to say hello. Next week to say hello, and I can't wait for that. After this, we had the Casino Gauntlet match for a shot at Roderick Strong's international title at
I
Double
would
or
like
Nothing.
this concept put in with the cards.
Yeah, and I will say this: nobody knew what the fuck this shit was going in, but this is maybe one of my favorite new match concepts I've ever seen.
100%.
This was fucking nothing but fun. This was so fun. This was like one of the funnest matches I've ever seen. It was basically what it was. It's like a Royal Rumble gauntlet that's sudden death. So basically, think of a Royal Rumble where guys are coming out one by one, but think of a gauntlet where like guys will get beat and then a new person will come out. But so basically, it's a mix of the two. So like guys keep coming out and it's sudden death until somebody gets pinned. So like the two guys in the ring that start, somebody can get pinned and that'll be the end of the match. But then the match can keep going, and by the time it ends, they'll have 18 guys in the ring. Like it doesn't stop until somebody gets pinned. And I think that's a cool ass concept. I think it's really cool. And the only thing I wish they had was like, okay, how many guys are going to be in it? And then they said like halfway through the match, all right, the limit is 25. So I would love this. I really love this concept. And I really hope they do this again soon because this was fucking awesome.
I would like this implemented with like kind of like the suit cards, like with it, but like instead of like have like 25 cards, or if you want to
that's
do
the
this,
Casino Battle Royal.
Well, but say no, but like if you want to do it for like say like a full-fledged like to implement the cards, have 52 wrestlers, have that be on like a 0 hour, have that be the whole 0 hour.
We don't need to be doing that much. That's a lot. That's too much. Because you can't have 52, you cannot have 52 guys out there at all. You cannot have that.
Have some local talent, have some TNA.
No. This shouldn't, like 25 is already breaching the gap of all right, that's a little much. But I think it worked tonight. Do not change it. This worked. I think they should keep it as they had. Just specify the number, and which they did, and will be good. But I think this concept is a winner, and I think they should just keep it as they should. But the match started out with Jay White and Dante Martin in the ring, which was cool enough. This wasn't even advertised for the show, so this is a complete surprise. So you had Dante and Jay White start, and then we had Penta show up. Penta showed up. He was the third man in the ring. After that, we had fucking Will Ospreay. And I'm like, I heard Elevator, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, and first of all, my second, I was like, well, how is this fucking guy wrestling 3 days after the match he just had with Bryan Danielson? He's a fucking nutcase, Ospreay. But Ospreay's out here, and he gets in the ring, and he goes face to face with Jay White. The crowd starts saying, holy shit. And for me, as a New Japan fan, who basically saw both these guys' entire run, this was incredible because number one, these two have only gone one-on-one twice in their entire
Really?
tenure in Japan. Twice. That's it. They never
That's
had a big
criminal.
yeah, they never had a big main event. It's really weird. They never had a big main event match. They never had a big feud together at all. The only time they ever wrestled each other were two G1s.
Yeah, I'm about to say like the only two
Actually,
singles
no. Actually,
matches were
you know, they
G1s,
had one.
right?
No. It was one G1 and one of New Japan Cup. That's the
Wow.
only two times they ever wrestled each other. And another crazy thing is Jay White has never wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. as long as he was there. So it's just like some shit you would think would be a no-brainer that have happened in New Japan has not happened with these foreigners. They usually like to keep the foreigners away from each other. But Ospreay's out here. He's going face to face with Jay White, getting a huge reaction. Ospreay's going ape shit. At this point in the match, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen because Ospreay's not gonna like lose.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know who else is coming out. So after this, we had Lance Archer come out, which was also really cool because him and Ospreay have history. Because in that one G1, I believe it was 2019 G1. 2018 or 2019 G1. The first night of the G1 block was actually in Dallas, Texas, and one of the matches on it was Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer, where he debuted the Murder Hawk monster character and his whole look that he has today. And they had a great match. Those two. That was probably the best match Lance Archer's career. And it was really cool to see them go at it again because they wrestled a lot in New Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Archer was out there. He ended up setting up two tables. After this, Commander came out.
Did a Hurricanrana to Lance?
Yeah, he did a Hurricanrana through to Lance through the tables. And then after that, Jay Lethal ends up hitting the ring. Oh wait, I completely forgot to mention. I skipped Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly was in this match. He came in, I think, at the 4 spot before Ospreay. Kyle O'Reilly, he was out there as well. And Kyle O'Reilly's going in there with Ospreay was really cool because I don't believe they've ever wrestled either. Along with him and Jay White. So him and see Ospreay and Kyle O'Reilly was fucking awesome.
2 matches now I need to see singles wise. I need to see Will and O'Reilly. I need to see Commander and Ospreay as well. Those two together, like to see like those 2 matches in singles form would be fucking insane. Because Commander has that fast style that Will can keep up with, and Kyle O'Reilly and Will can probably just their styles blend so perfectly together. Because you have like the IW not the IW, the PWG style and the New Japan style. Those two are virtually the same.
But I will say after this, I will say about Kyle in there about like he's really, really comfortable now. He looks all the way back.
Yeah,
and it was he even actually cut his hair. He doesn't have the long hair anymore. But besides that, what I was saying earlier, Jay Lethal came out. He was the last one to enter the match before the finish. Ospreay ended up hitting Kyle O'Reilly. He was about to hit the Storm Driver 91 on Kyle, but then he's like, and then he threw him away. And then Kyle almost got him, but he kicked out. Then Kyle put Will in a Jujikatami, and then Commander did hit the I forgot this. I think it's called the Selena Renta, off the like the tightrope shooting star, and he nailed a Kyle, and Kyle, while he was being pinned, Ospreay hit the hidden blade on Commander, and he pinned Commander. Ospreay wins the fucking gauntlet. I'm like, Ospreay's not gonna lose, but I just didn't know who was coming out, how long this match was gonna go.
Yeah.
And I'm glad obviously Jay White didn't get pinned, or Kyle, or Lethal, or Archer. But yeah, they picked the right guy to pin too. But I thought this was really cool. Roddy came out after to stare down with Osprey. So they're gonna be doing Osprey versus Roddy, for the international championship. Adam Cole was there. He walked gingerly down the steps, because
Mm-hmm.
good. But yeah, I didn't expect them to do this. I didn't expect Roddy versus Osprey for the international title. What this feels like to me is a buffer uh that maybe we're not gonna get Osprey and Swerve at Wembley, because I don't think Roddy's gonna be beating Osprey, the first one to beat Osprey, at all. And I think Osprey, they're gonna have Osprey have a run for the for the international title for himself. I don't know if they'll do like champion versus champion at Wembley. Because I've had in my head for so long that it's going to be Swerve and Osprey, which it very well could still be. He could. I could see Will losing it to somebody. We don't know. I have no clue how this is going to shake out, but I think that's going to be a hell of a match between Roddy and Osprey. I mean, could end up being Roddy's best match of his career.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
because currently Roddy's best match, in my opinion, is the one he had with Tomohiro Ishii for the Ring of Honor television title, back in like 2016. That match was unbelievable, in Korakuen Hall. But yeah, really cool to see Osprey and Roddy. I don't believe this has happened before, at least not on a large scale. So yeah, very excited for this match, and it was something I didn't expect. After this, we had a like little promo segment in the back with Renee talking to Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, and basically Don is like talking about, why didn't you hit the Storm Driver 91? And Will's like, well, Brian, he's like, I didn't want to do it right. And then Don starts yelling at Will, and Kyle's like, Don, he just didn't want to do it. He didn't want to hurt him. He's like, I don't care. You shouldn't even be talking about anybody winning after tonight because he lost. And Kyle looked dejected. Will was like, oh Jesus. And Don's like, you know what? I have to go manage Hobbs. I got to get out of here. And then Will and Kyle was like standing like all dejected. What this to me was they're sowing the seeds of dissension between the two. I think Don is not going to have this shit. And they've already paid a mention on commentary that Don is actively recruiting. So what this is to me is that Osprey and Kyle's going to go babyface again. He's going to go with Osprey. And Don is going to keep Takeshita and Hobbs and gain a third member. Who that third member is, I have no idea. But it would end up being 2v3, and that's how you introduce the return of Mark Davis to come help the boys. So it would be like a mini United Empire again.
Just did a quick little search on Cage Match. Osprey and Strong have never wrestled ever.
Yeah, I didn't believe so. But
Just
anyway,
just have to do a quick search because you never know. Like,
yeah,
the occasional the occasional battle royals here and there.
yeah, it's so Osprey
Actually, no,
Osprey.
wait, they did. Super Strong Style 16 tournament semifinals. Will Ospreay defeats Roger Strong.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So that
was back in
not on
2015.
Yes. So they wrestled, but not on a large scale. So this is going to
Yeah,
be their first
back
match
in
on a large scale.
progress.
But Osprey and Fletcher, I think Fletcher's gonna go babyface again with Osprey, and Davis will come back, so they'll have the three of them back together again, and then you'll have Hobbs, Takeshita, and whoever Don Callis introduces as his next guy, which I have no clue who that could be. That's one
that painting's gonna get filled out.
That's one I have no clue. Well, I mean, I don't know about filled out. They would have to take two and add one. They would have to get rid of two of them and then add one. But I don't know who that's gonna be. Like I really haven't had much thought into who is gonna be Don's new like guy. we'll see. I'm looking at the roster right now, and I'm thinking maybe. I think they're gonna keep him as a babyface just because of the reaction he gets. Like Pac maybe. I don't think so. Um, maybe. Um, I don't know. There's some options there. I don't know if they could bring in somebody else.
They could rework AR Fox's heel run.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm talking about got a new main guy for Callus's group.
Oh,
Not main, not actually no, not main guy, but a new because Takeshita is really the main guy. Well, Osprey is right now, but Takeshita really is the main guy. But a new, I think but
I like for I was
like
gonna
somebody believable. Like AR Fox is not going to go out there and be competitive and be a believable person that's going to beat Will Osprey.
they want to rework. Never mind. I'm gonna throw that idea out of the way.
Ricky Starks.
I was gonna say Ethan Page. Like that's possible.
He's not believable enough.
They could make him though.
They could, yeah. Well, they can make anybody believable. You have to have somebody believable right now because that's Don's whole character. That Don wants the best of the best. I think Ricky can fit that bill. I think maybe even Roosh could fit that. Roosh was that's actually something because Don actually tweeted a few months ago. Don tweeted at Roosh saying this kid's gonna be a star one day, and he was very complimentary to him when he was on commentary for one of Roosh's matches against somebody that he was representing. So Roosh, I think, could be a good option because Roosh is ready to come back from injury. Pac, maybe. If they want to turn Pac heel again. Miro.
Turn him heel?
Well, Keith Lee's not going to be back for a very long time. He had double surgery.
Oof.
Yeah, so you throw that out. Pac, I think I just don't think you could turn Pac heel right now. I'm just looking for believable guys who I think Ricky is a good option. I think Roosh might be your best option.
I'm trying to because you got so many people that are like within factions already, and some new people that aren't too believable. You got some of the like OG talent. This one's really hard.
Yeah, it's tough. It doesn't have to be a big time guy. I said that, but okay. I don't know where his injury status lies. But yeah, it's not like Takeshi's gonna be Callus's. No.
Listen,
Takeshi. This is how it's gonna be. Takeshi's gonna be Callus's main guy. That's obvious. Hobbs is believable because he's already beaten guys. He's like I don't see Hobbs as believable of beating Osprey, which he already hasn't. They already wrestled, but he's got to be believable. The person has to be believable enough to be able to hang in there with them. So I think Roosh would be a really cool option. To be honest, I think Roosh would be good.
Yeah, but would you?
Because Jose's gone.
Like blend La Faction on Ingobernables together with
I would just cut family? That. I mean, I would just cut that anyway. Let them do their own thing.
Because they're still because they're on the roster page. They're still putting Penta, Phoenix, and Pac together for the Death Triangle.
Yeah, but also Parker Boudreaux is still on the roster page. So, I don't really use the roster page as an actual reference. Lance Archer, maybe, but he's a part of Jake's crew. I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what? I think we're missing the biggest talent that can join the Don Callis family and take over, and that is Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Pac could work if he's a heel, but I don't know if they want to turn him heel yet. But right now, I think as it stands, I think maybe Roosh would be your number one option. Here as after what I'm looking at, I think Roosh would be a very very viable option. Guy was in the Continental Classic. You know what he can do. He's a fucking mean son of a bitch.
Bandito?
No.
No.
Plus, he's still recovering. He had to get the doctors fucked up his surgery, so he had to get a second surgery on his wrist.
Fucking great. Cool. Awesome.
But anyway, after this, we had the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho come out here with new music, which was Fozzy, and new things. He had a sticker on the belt that said "The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho."
I was reading some of the tweets about his theme song. They were like, man, Chris Jericho gave himself a Def Rebel remix of fucking Judas, and I was losing my mind.
Jericho, though, he comes out and he says, "Hey guys, thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your support. I love you guys. I couldn't have done it without you." He's talking about Taz and Hook, saying he had to do what he had to do to Hook because he didn't want to listen, and he's gonna make an example out of Shibata next week. And it's like because you need people. I mean, this is what I do. I take young guys and I bring them up to my level, and they get to learn under the learning tree. It's like everybody who is around me, their careers are so much higher. And then all of a sudden, here comes Big Bill. Big Bill comes out and he says, "Listen, Jericho, I want to learn from under the learning tree. I want to be a part of the learning tree." He basically gives his intangibles. He says, "I am a perfect person to learn under the learning tree. I've seen you." Everybody backstage is chomping at the bit to learn from you and sit under the learning tree, and I want it. And then basically Jericho just says, "I'll think about it." He's like, "Listen, just watch me." So Big Bill's going to try to impress Jericho. I really, really like this. And I know a lot of people haven't liked Jericho segments, but this, if you don't understand, this shit was so fucking self-aware. They like, without telling you, "Hey guys, we hear you, and we know." This was, they said everything without saying it. This was the most self-aware fucking promo I've ever seen. Jericho standing there like he's like, "Hey guys, everyone loves me." Everything they say about Jericho, "Oh, everybody's worse off after being with him. Oh, he doesn't elevate anybody." He's like, "I elevate everybody. Everybody who's with me comes up to my level." He's so fucking full of shit, and it's not his fault, a lot of it, but I think this was great. I thought this was a great promo. I think this is a great new character because it's completely self-aware. It was completely self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Big Bill being with him is cool because it's not like the same old shit with Jake Hager. But Big Bill, I mean, obviously that guy could work for a bigger guy.
Imagine if his way of impressing Jericho, he does like the lion salt.
All right, well, let's chill out.
Imagine a big man doing a fucking moonsault to you.
Well, they do. Lance Archer does it.
True.
When he does the old school, but what's it called? I think this is pretty cool. I think, and the funny thing is, they even acknowledged how self-aware it was on commentary because Taz like, "Oh my god, listen to this fucking guy." But on commentary, they also said Big Bill is like, I would like, "I am nothing. I want to come up to your level." And then I was like, this guy was just AEW World Tag Team Champion. It's like, what are you talking about? So I don't know what this means for Big Bill and Ricky. I think that they're done. I mean, they weren't really a real tag team to begin with.
I hope everyone is just gaslighting Jericho.
I don't think that's
fuck with him.
I don't think it's going to be a new group either. I don't think it's going to be a faction. I think it's going to be like a group of guys that just come and seek advice from Jericho, or like Jericho stays on commentary, just watches their matches. Like they're not going to be doing his bidding. Like he's going to be giving advice, but it's going to be negative advice, and they're going to realize that and be like, "Hey Jericho, what the fuck?" And then that's how you end up getting in matches with Jericho. But I thought this was fucking great. It was completely self-aware.
It was, yeah.
This is the best you could ask for. And everybody knows what's happening. He had go away heat for a little bit, but this is fucking great. This is why I love Jericho. I think Jericho is one of the greatest of all time. And I understand people. He's not obviously he's well past his prime, and people don't like him anymore. Don't want to see him, but he's He's a very very valuable asset, on and off the screen. So very controversial take, but whatever. After this, we had Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jon Moxley for the for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which the match was fine, but unfortunately, there was an injury in this match. Hobbs did like a dive. He tried to do like a diving press to Mox in the corner, but he slammed into the goddamn turnbuckle with his knee, and he didn't look right after that. He couldn't really put any weight on his knee. At first I was like, okay, it's just a kayfabe thing because they did end up finishing the match, but Mox ended up doing like my least favorite move in wrestling, like the corner blows. That's a shoot, by the way. That's my least favorite move in wrestling.
Really?
I fucking hate it. I hate it. I get the crowd control shit, but I've always fucking hated it. It's like, bro, it's like you're not doing nothing. I know every wrestler does it, but I've always hated it. But he does that. He gives Hobbs a paradigm shift, and then he puts him out with the rear naked choke, and you could see like how the finish. What Hobbs was not putting any weight on his right leg,
Yeah.
and it looked like his knee. And the ref kept talking to him. Mox was like looking at him, like looking up, like okay, he knew something wrong. This was 100, and the finish was way too sudden, and an audible was absolutely called for this finish. I hope Hobbs is okay because that didn't look good. He looked like he was hurt bad.
I was waiting for reports to pop up. Both Sean Ross Sapp and purists have not said anything yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that until a little bit later because they're in dailies and
Normally Sean Ross Sapp gets these scoops almost immediately.
But
on it.
But yeah, it does look like Hobbs suffered an injury here. I hope he's okay, unless he's the greatest worker of all time. But I hope he's okay. Mox retains. After the match, he has a stare down with Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita's doing this, saying he wants a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title, and I don't think there's gonna be any drama on the New Japan end about that one. And let me tell you something right now. Get that motherfucker Takeshita in a G1, please. That's all I ask. All I ask. Just get Takeshita in the G1, please. Is that too much to ask for a young lad like me to watch Konosuke Takeshita go work a G1 tour? Please. But anyway, after that, we had Renee in the back with Katsuyori Shibata talking about Katsuyori cut his phone promo.
They did
saying
kind of like a record scratch too.
Before he because he had to reverse it because I guess it already played. But he said he's gonna humble Jericho next week in his hometown. He wants a shot at the FTW championship. In FTW rules, which is crazy for Shibata because you don't really see that much. And then he says, the jewels on your shirt make a heart. It's nice. And then he's like, well, thank you. This is the second time he did this to Renee. I think that this is fucking awesome. This is like one of my favorite low key one of my favorite things about AEW right now is Shibata. Shibata being the fucking just the goofy AI voice guy because he's such a serious wrestler for his entire career and such a pure serious wrestler. Everyone takes him serious, like, oh, this guy's a fucking legend in the ring. This guy's unbelievable. He's no nonsense, no games. His literal nickname is the Wrestler. He's the most serious wrestler you can ever find. The guy was a young lion, and he didn't want to feel like changing his tights, so he left his tights black. He never had any other gear. He just kept the young lion gear because he just wanted to be a wrestler. And he's fucking doing this shit on the phone. It's fucking amazing.
I would love for one day when he does this and Mox is there, he goes like, he kind of does like a double take, like, huh?
Yeah, all he just had to say is, No kidding, dude. Or just saying like, hey, I don't mean anything by it, bro. Whatever. Uh, but no, I think Shibata is fucking fantastic right now. I think I mean, I've never thought I'd see this side of Shibata, but it's fucking awesome.
Then
Um,
after this, we get into our.
well, before that, I just the rampage and
yes.
collision rundown since it's going to be on the same night. We're going to be getting Action Andretti and Top Flight versus the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and the Guns on Collision. We're going to be getting Anna Jay versus Tony Storm, and on Rampage we're getting the parking lot fight between Trent and Chuck.
That's
And we're getting Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa, which all that has been confirmed. So yeah, but after this we had Jack Perry come out here, the scapegoat, no music, talking about how he wants to talk with Tony Khan, go face to face with this man. And he says, hey guys, ever since the start, I wanted to make sure AEW was in good hands. And it was well, he calls Tony Khan out first. And he's like, he wants to make sure AEW was the best that it could be. And because Tony Schiavone introduced him, and he had like this fucking stern look on his face, because he heard the comments about him at the fucking announce table. But he's like, I wanted to make sure AEW changed the world, and it could be the best that it could be, and how he loves AEW. And then he wanted to shake Tony Khan's hand. It's been a long road, and Tony,
can you reinstate me?
Can you reinstate me? Shake my hand and reinstate me. And then Tony Khan gave him an enthusiastic handshake. He raised his hand. Everybody's all happy. Tony's like this, like pointing to his heart. He's like, let's continue to change the world. But then they have a hug, and Jack looks at this fucking hard cam, like how he did at Dynasty. And
kind of like how Eddie
shitting...
Kingston did.
Yeah,
like, with the death triangle.
Yeah, you saw this shit-eating grin from fucking Jack. I'm like, oh my god, this guy, Tony Khan, you're in fucking deep shit without a paddle, brother. You're about to get decked, and
He's
it's not.
die.
You're in danger right now, my brother. Jack turns around and he nails Tony Khan right in the sternum with the microphone. Nails Tony Khan. Tony Khan is down. The boss is down. Here comes the Young Bucks. Here comes Matthew, Nick.
Down goes Khan.
Matthew, Nicholas, and Okada, and they're like, yo, what the fuck, dude? That was the boss. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like, Jack, what are you doing, bro? And then the Bucks ended up picking him up. And
do the EVP trigger.
Before he's down all fours, the way Tony's positioned, I'm like, oh shit. They grab both of them grab his arm. I'm like, oh shit. He's in position. And Okada sees us, Okada's like, dude, chill the fuck out, dude. No, we're not doing that shit. Okada's like, yeah. Okada's like, no, bro, come on, dude. Okada's like, bro, I'm not like, no, dude, I know what you're trying to do. But and Okada does this. He does this, and then Matt picks Tony up in the pile driver position. Nick gets on the top rope, and they give Tony Khan the Tony Khan driver. They gave this guy his own fucking move. And Okada, he's like this, like he's in the fucking NWO. They put Tony Khan down with the Tony Khan driver. They lay him out in the ring. Everybody's there. The fucking locker room and the refs, they run out. The doctors, they run out. They get ran off. Shad Khan makes an appearance on the television show, and he's there to check on Tony. He's all concerned. Shad Khan, by the way, he's also the owner of AEW, but he doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
But obviously the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You'll see him tomorrow a lot on the NFL draft. He's only had one other appearance on AEW, and that was at Fight for the Fall in Daily's Place when they had a donation to prevent gun violence at the end of the pay-per-view to hold up like a check for the donation they were making. That was the only other time on AEW. But
your microphone switched. That's because you hit it. I saw you hit it this time.
Yeah, I hit this shit a lot.
There you go.
But yeah, Shad Khan's out here. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which everybody should do in their lifetime, if you go to a place called Costa del Sol in like the first half of the game, the mayor of the town, his name is Mayor Capono. I swear to Christ, I swear as God is my witness, it's fucking Shad Khan. I'm not even kidding. I'm not joking. He looks the exact same. I need to get a picture of this up, but it's like it's ridiculous. I'm hold on, Mayor.
Tony Khan could not leave the ring under his own power. He had to be carried off. Oh.
It's fucked up. All right, can I screen share this?
I'm gonna have to fuck around with the stuff real quick. Hold on.
All right. Well, yeah.
Hold on. All right, we are no longer have our overlay on, so share your screen and we'll see what I can do.
I mean, are we? I mean, are we serious right now? As soon, dude, when I was playing this game, I'm like, holy shit, it's Shad Khan. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Look at this. Look at this. Is that not Shadid Khan right here?
Oh my god.
Look at this.
Holy fuck.
Am I tripping or what?
Holy shit.
Shad Khan.
Fucking wild.
But yes, that is what was my discovery on Mike in the chat goes, man, it's to get his FF7 royalties. Listen, if they want to sponsor this podcast, if Square Enix wants to sponsor this podcast, then by all means. I mean, listen, I don't know what I'll fucking clean the floors that those people who make that game walk on. I'll lick it clean, damn it. Because that is humankind's magnum opus. But anyway, Shad Khan's out here with all the wrestlers who want to push.
Shad Khan's like, God damn it, now I have to do the draft.
So all the wrestlers out there, they get the ones they. I mean, if I was a wrestler, my ass would be out there trying to. I would hold Tony like SpongeBob did.
That guy, kind of like the lifeguard did the SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'd be doing like that to Tony Khan. I'd be like that because like then I would get a fucking push. Listen, the first I don't know. I think the first person out there was like,
Bryce.
Well, not Bryce. Well, I'm talking about wrestler. The first person out there, I gotta see. I have the segment up right here. Like I think it might have been like fucking Evil Uno or some shit. I'm like, yeah, this guy really wants a world title match.
Also, the Elite cut a promo after in the back area. That's on Twitter.
Okay, but anyway, the show goes off the air. Shad Khan. They actually probably would have went off the air sooner, but they had time after the audible was called in the main event match. But yeah, Tony's down. This is the first time Tony has fucking been attacked or taken a bump on television. All the wrestlers like his friend Shad's out there, but please, I thought the segment was amazing. I thought it was funny as shit, but it was also really good, and it made the Elite look like fucking great. It feels like the Elite are gonna run the company. Corporate Okada, they should have Okada be the fucking booker. And I swear to Christ, they have to get Okada at least once in English to say, that doesn't work for me, brother. He has to do that. Hulk Hogan, Okada, and because I said this as the segment was going, like, in my wildest dreams, if you fucking gave me a line of coke, my brain couldn't even imagine this. That Okada would be of any part of this shit. And I think that's the best. The only thing that would have made this segment better is fucking if Okada spun this guy around and gave him a fucking Rainmaker.
That's just wild. All right. We need to get on out of here because I need to sleep. That was... You're muted. Like your mic.
Hello?
It's now your camera, but it's still a microphone. Nope. It's now muted again.
Oh my fucking god!
There we go.
But anyway, he should have spun around, and gave me Rainmaker. But Tony's got a big day tomorrow. He can't take that much abuse. But I will say this though, this is gonna be fucking great with Okada, the Bucks, and Jack. And yeah, the footage was controversial when they showed it, but the mission was accomplished.
Yes.
Of what it was set out to do. That was to elevate, make Jack Perry bigger than he was. And that was mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still agree with that? They probably should have, probably not, but they did it and mission accomplished.
Oh, yeah.
And And the thing is here though, but tomorrow is the NFL draft. We will see obviously the NFL shows inside the draft rooms for all the teams when they're drafting. I swear to God, if fucking Tony Khan isn't in either a wheelchair or in a neck brace or in a body cast at that fucking draft room, I'm gonna fucking flip out.
Tony Khan's gonna look like Chrissy over here. He's gonna have the sunglasses on and the neck brace. He's gonna be like,
bro, Tony, please keep K Tony. I swear to you. I swear, please, brother.
He's going
live the gimmick, brother.
This motherfucker had the match card for Full Gear at one of the Jaguars games. Remember that,
bro? He has to. He has to fucking do it. He has to. All right. That was Dynamite though. I'm really excited for this though. This was a great angle to end the show, and I can't wait to see next week's show. Very, very good show tonight.
Pro Wrestler of the Week, well, second wrestler of the week. I will give it to Hobbs. He just recovered well. He had a great match with Mox. It sucks that it had to end that way with an audible, but get well soon. Hopefully it's not too severe.
Yeah. Prayers to him. That's not, you don't want to see that happen at all. Mine, I guess. Let's go with Tony Khan. Taking his first. Actually, no, I'm joking.
The Bucks are gonna release like a merch of like the of like a black and white image before they Tony Khan drivered him, and I will be buying that.
I'm fucking around. I guess I'll give it to. Let's give it to he had a great match tonight in the opener. Let's give it to Kyle Fletcher.
Hell yeah.
Doing some great singles work.
All right, guys, we appreciate you all for watching. You can catch us next week for another post show. Goodbye.